Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and my name is Siri. In this video, we are going to talk about one of the main mistakes that we make while we are in the journey of learning how to speak in this language. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. So the major mistake that we make is to not to enjoy the process and also to look at practice as a burden. When we want to practice English or when we want to practice speaking, we actually do not enjoy it. And especially if you are somebody who is in the initial days of learning this language, it is very much obvious that you might not find this language interesting and you might not even enjoy the process at all. And that is a mistake that we make. If I have to explain this with an example, let's say you wanted to learn how to use Instagram. So when you wanted to learn how to use Instagram, did you actually ask anyone to teach you how to use Instagram? No, you have learned it all by yourself without anybody's help. Why? How is that possible? That's because you had that interest towards learning how to use Instagram. You really wanted to learn how to use Instagram. That's why even if there was no help from anybody, you have learned everything by yourself. You have learned everything by yourself by making mistakes and rectifying your mistakes, learning from your mistakes, everything by yourself. That's because you had interest and you had that love towards learning how to use Instagram, and you found Instagram entertaining and you found that process interesting. That is the reason you have learned all by yourself. Now, when it comes to learning how to speak in English, we complain a lot. We complain that we don't have a partner to speak in English with. We complain, I cannot say complaining, but we ask a lot of questions that how much to practice. How many minutes in a day do I need to practice? So we ask such questions a lot. That's because we actually do not find the process very much interesting. See, asking questions is fine, but if you're trying to ask questions to just escape from that practice, that's wrong. Okay, when you are trying to practice speaking, if you're not enjoying it, I'm sure even 5 minutes seems like 5 hours. Speaking for 5 minutes itself seems like you've been practicing from the past 5 hours. So that is the mistake that we make. And when you have that love towards speaking, I'm sure you can continuously speak for 30 minutes. You can continuously speak for 10 minutes without breaks. It's all about the kind of perspective that you have towards it. If I have to explain this with another example, when we used to go to school, so we were never interested in school a lot, especially when we were in class UKG, LKG or first, when we were really small. We were not very much interested to go to school. We would always look forward to go home and be with our parents and to play. Because we actually did not like to be in school, that's the reason we look forward to go home. Right? And the time we be in school, we find it really difficult. We always wait for the bell to ring so that we can run, so that we can go home, right? That time we find it absolutely difficult. We feel like, oh God, how long it is going to take to, go home? That's the question that we ask ourselves. But in summer holidays, when we go to our cousins and when we play with them, when we spend some time with our cousins, we feel like it doesn't even feel like we are with our cousins from the past 3 months, but the time just passed by like this. That's what we feel. That's because we have been enjoying all the 3 months. We completely enjoyed ourselves. We completely enjoyed the company of our cousins. We completely enjoyed that process of playing. That's the reason we completely loved that period of 3 months. And we didn't even realize that it's been 3 months since we actually started to be with our cousins. And when we go back to school, the same repeats. Now, the same thing happens with English. When you are learning English, if you don't have that interest or love towards learning this language, I'm sure even if you force yourself to learn English every single day for 30 minutes for 1 year, let's say, the kind of results that you get are of course not going to make you happy. They are not going to be the way you wanted them to be, because all throughout the practice you've not been enjoying, so the result that you get would not be the way you expected it to be, right? And let's compare it in another way. Let's say you have completely enjoyed the process, you completely enjoyed each and every moment in the process, and the result that you are going to get is of course going to make you happy, because you know, you and your instinct knows that you have completely put your soul and heart into practice, and you've completely thoroughly enjoyed the practice. So there is no way of getting a wrong result. You yourself are very much confident that you are going to get a positive result, and the result that you are going to get is of course going to make you happy, right? So that is the only thing we need to rectify here. Why we need to look at English practice, especially speaking practice, as a burden. We should not look at it from the perspective of task. We should look forward to it. Let's say in a day you're working professional, for example, you are a working professional, so anyhow you still try to invest at least 30 minutes of your time in a day towards speaking, okay? And in that 30 minutes you were just not enjoying the process at all. Just that 30 minutes itself seems like 30 hours. But if you have that love towards learning this language, I'm telling you, even that 30 minutes wouldn't be enough for you to learn this language, because it just feels like, oh, it's been 30 minutes since I've started to speak. So it's good. You learn something every single day when you have that interest, when you have that love, when you have that curiosity to learn this language. I think that's when it works a lot. This is just a small mistake to rectify, but I'm telling you, it makes a lot of difference. It is going to change a lot in your practice. All you have to keep in your mind is that from now, whenever you're practicing how to speak in English, do not look at it as a task. Do not look at it as a burden. Consider that as your responsibility. Consider that as a fun task to complete. Consider that as something that would develop curiosity in you to learn every single thing, every single day, and to learn something new every day. That's important. And where else we'll get this opportunity to improve ourselves every single day? If you're learning how to speak in English, I'm sure if you enjoy the process, I'm again very sure that you are going to improve yourself every single day, no matter what. But if you do not enjoy the process, if you do not have that interest towards learning this language, there is going to be no sort of improvement in yourself that you can observe. And don't even expect for results. And another mistake that we make is that we expect results so quickly, and we just keep expecting results all the time. And why do we have to expect the results? We focus on results when we do not focus on the process. If you're completely focused on the process, if you're completely focused on the practice that you're doing, result is not something that would even pop up in your head, because your 100% is on your practice. Your 100% is on the way you are trying to speak, right? So shift your focus onto practice, shift your focus onto speaking, and shift your interest onto speaking. Only then you will be able to speak in this language. Only then you are of course going to be happy with whatever result that you get. So that is it for the video, guys. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a like and share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and do let me know in the comment section how did you like the video. I'll see you guys very soon. Till then, you take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.